Good afternoon, Composition 1 students. It is actually Saturday afternoon this time. Tomorrow I have a very long, busy day because one of my family members is getting married. So I'm going to do this a day ahead in order to keep things on track. Now, it is midterms. I'm very tired. I'm sure you're very tired. So whenever you get to this video is fine. Every Tuesday, the attendance rolls over. So you don't have to watch this until Tuesday, but I want you to know some information before the week starts. So make sure you get credit from the Cyber Campus, even if you watch this on YouTube or you watch it before Tuesday. Please don't forget that you need to watch it between Tuesday and next Monday. That's the way the system works, okay? So don't forget that. There's a lot of things for me to remember to tell you, so let me try and make sure I don't forget anything. First of all, your papers have been graded, so you should be able to look on the Cyber Campus and see the score that you got. I will talk about that after I talk about a few other housekeeping things. First of all, the assignment that I gave from last week, I didn't put up the window for you to submit until today. So if you've already done it, great. One student said, Professor, I can't submit my assignment. And well, I was kind of expecting you to be busy with midterms, but some people are very proactive, and that student wanted to submit it. So it's open now and it closes on Friday. So the due date is on Friday. As I said, that would be April 30th. So the assignment again was to complete the paragraph. There's a missing topic sentence and the following sentences that support the topic sentence are not developed well. They're simple and they need to be connected to each other within the phrases and between the phrases. So you need to use a combination of conjunctions and transition words to connect the phrases. Sometimes it will be between sentences, sometimes within sentences. After you do that, you have to finish the paragraph by adding your own supporting sentences that match. And then the concluding sentence is already there for you. I turn this into a graded assignment because a lot of students have trouble with the topic sentence. One of the biggest issues with people's papers that were otherwise written well, had some pretty good organization and good support, was just there was no statement at the beginning. And I'm really going to insist that you tell me what you're going to talk about at the beginning. Most of you just said a gift as a title and then started telling a story. You can use the story to support your point, right? Your statement that this is the most memorable gift because I received it from my grandmother and she passed away, okay? Or this is a romantic gift that my boyfriend gave me and it has an inscription on it and that helps me remember that day. That's gotta be at the beginning. And then you tell the story to support that statement. If you just tell me a story about Christmas, it's just a story. It's not a response paper, okay? So if you did that, you probably didn't get an A. If you wrote well, you got a B+. If you did everything else right, except there was no topic sentence or statement at the beginning, you probably got an A. If you did everything basically right, you got an A+. That's how it works. So when you see your score, what you're gonna see is 95, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60. Those just correspond to A+, A0, B+, B0. So it doesn't make sense to say somebody got a 77 and somebody got an 81. You can't really be that precise when you're grading. It's much easier to give whole letter grades, like you're in this category. So that's how I grade for my papers. When it comes to the exam, you're gonna get a number, like you'll get 79 out of 100. But on your papers, you're gonna get a letter, an A+, an A0, an a B plus, a B minus. That's how it's going to work. So on the system though, there's no way to enter that. So a 95 is an A plus and a 90 is an A, and down through the grades, okay? Obviously a 50 is an F, right? If you're below 60, then that means you're incomplete or it's done so badly that it doesn't deserve a passing grade. There were no Fs, by the way. So but there were some low grades. So there are some things that we need to discuss, definitely, okay? So the Horrible Hotel is gonna be worth 5%. So this is same sort of thing as homework, but I do want you to do it properly. If you don't fix the sentences and you don't have a good topic sentence and your supporting sentences don't match, you're going to get a low grade. That's it. It's pretty straightforward, okay? Grammar counts, but not that much, okay? Focus on the logic, focus on the organization, and make sure you have the elements that I keep telling you. You need to have the statement. You need to have that if the topic sentence is missing, that's much worse than having a topic sentence with bad grammar, if you know what I'm saying. So focus on those things that you can improve. Punctuation though, I had one student hand something in, no periods, no capitals, starting sentences in the middle of, starting new paragraphs. You can't do that. There are rules, and if you don't follow them, I can't understand, I can't read it. It's confusing, and it's time consuming. I don't want to try and decipher what you're trying to say. You should try and make it neat and organized as much as possible. I understand you're going to make grammar mistakes, but punctuation mistakes are not university mistakes. That's public school. So if you're one of those people who were lazy and you're making typos and you're not putting periods and you're not capitalizing, I'm going to punish you for that. You're going to lose significant points for that because it's a struggle to read. Nobody wants to read something that doesn't have any punctuation. It has no natural organization to it. No basic natural organization. That's a requirement, okay? Small grammar mistakes are understandable. Lack of punctuation and following the basic rules of English, not acceptable. Okay. I usually ask people, you want to know the bad news or the good news first? But I kind of went with the bad news first anyway. But please, the reason I'm grading this assignment, this Horrible Hotel assignment from page 25, is to give you a chance to realize what you need to do, okay? Because clearly, about 50% of you, maybe more, don't have a topic sentence, okay? Some of you have an introduction with a topic sentence in it, and that counts. But some of you just don't have any indication at all. Others have put a really good concluding sentence. At the end, you tell me what the meaning of the gift, what the significance and the importance and what the impression of the gift is. That's great. That's what I want. Do that at the beginning too. And then you have a nice, kind of circular enclosing statements to what you write. And then I know what to expect. And when I come to the end, after you've told your story and given your explanation, analyzed and given your examples, and you restate it and you it looks like you've proven what you proposed at the beginning, I'm prepared to agree with you or argue against you, but that's the position I'm supposed to be in. Agreement or disagreement. But if there's nothing there at the beginning, then I don't know what direction this story is. What's the point of telling this story? I wouldn't just pick up a random story just because it said a gift, unless you were a professional author and you had the book in the bookstore, or if it was a #1 bestseller on Amazon. So the title's not important either, but just saying response paper gift or describe a gift you received. That's the name of the assignment. That's me telling you what to do. The instructions are not the title. You could have said anything, right? You could have said basketball net or my first birthday, anything. But you can be a little bit more creative than just saying assignment number 1, okay? So let's work on some of these things. Some people are clearly not making enough effort. So I think it's time for us to have a little workshop instead of me just talking to you through the screen. Some people are obviously listening to what I'm saying and they're getting it because I gave out, there's about 35 students and there were something like 10 A's, which is pretty normal. 10 A's out of 35. There's some pretty low grades too. So I'm a little bit concerned that the people with the lower grades, they may not be paying attention to the recordings very well, and that's not really my fault. But if things are not clear and they're making mistakes and they don't realize it, I think it's time that we had some real-time conversation and we tried to, patch up those missing links, trying to figure out what needs to be improved in order to bring your writing skill up to speed. So there's a wide range of ability. Not so much, I shouldn't say ability. There's a wide range of effort and preparation and style. So I don't want to say it's a matter of ability. It doesn't necessarily have to do with your language ability or your writing ability. It just, maybe you're just not clear on what you're supposed to do. So this lecture is for week 9. Next week, instead of having a recording, we're going to have a Zoom lecture. Okay, so I will post, I think we're going to do this at 1 o'clock because then everybody has a chance to have lunch. I actually have classes all day Monday, so I think our class is from 12 until 2, if I'm not mistaken. So not this week, next week, week 9, I'll post the Zoom information and it counts because I'm going to delete the recorded lecture off the Cyber Campus. That one's going to be deleted and it's going to be replaced by a Zoom lecture. I'm going to put this as a notice. So I hope you pay attention to this video lecture because a lot of things are happening. First, April 3rd. April 30th, hand in your horrible hotel assignment, which is graded. Second, check the Cyber Campus to see what your grade was on your assignment. Third, next week, not this week, not week 9, but week 10, we will have a Zoom meeting instead of recorded lecture. Okay? And that's so that I can explain things and questions can be asked and I can talk about specific things. Once you see your grade on the Cyber Campus, obviously I have a pile of paper here. I've written things. If you would like specific feedback, I would like you to email me with your student number and your name and your class on Monday. My name is Isujin and this is my student number. Professor, can you give me some more specific feedback on why I got an 85? Right? Why did I get a B+? Okay, that's the easiest way to do it. And then I'll just pick up the paper because I printed them all and I will tell you what I wrote on it. If you want to talk to me in person, we can do it on Zoom. If you want to drop by the office, that's also possible too. So that's the way writing usually works. If you want to find out in detail, you just got to follow up with the professor and they can tell you the reasons why the paper went well or what its weak points and what its strong points are too. Even if you got an A+, it's not a perfect paper. There's still things to be improved, okay? Last thing about the paper, format. You can't just create paragraphs wherever you want. You can't just write a sentence and then leave a big break and then write a sentence. There was one student that only wrote like 7 sentences. I said 1 to 2 pages, 10 point to 12 point font, okay? Double spaced, not triple spaced. You should have written 500 words. One student wrote like 100 words. It was 5 times shorter than it should be. You have to put your name and the class and your student number and the date and my name at the top of your writing. 3 students sent the file with their student number and their name in the file name, but when I printed it, there was no name. So I got this paper that just says, describe a gift you received, and there's a paragraph, and I have no idea whose it is. So I have to go through the whole list and try and find out who, because I print them all at once. Don't do that to me. So put your student number and your name at least on, but what you're supposed to do is name, student number, right? Class, professor, date at the top. I told you this already. It's at the front of the textbook. This is like the 5th time I've told everyone. So 3 students out of 35 didn't do it. All of you have to do it. If you don't, I'm not gonna spend my time looking for your paper because you can't be bothered to put your name on it, okay? If I sound like I'm angry, I'm not. I'm just tired because it takes a long time to go through these papers. Okay, so please, it's important that you follow the rules. It's just like when you do a test. You don't put your name on the test, and you hand it in, you get 0 because nobody knows whose test it is. If you hand in a paper, don't put your name on it, you get 0, okay? So put your name on it with your student number at the top. All right. I'm going to read somebody's. I'm not going to tell you who it is, as usual, but I'm going to read this paper. This student did a little bit of an introduction, and on the exam, you don't have time for this, okay? On the response paper, fine. It would be better to go right into the topic. So I'll tell you what I mean in a second. This is what the student says. It's always fun to get presents. Fortunately, I've received a lot of presents from my family and acquaintances. I usually got presents on my birthday. Most of people think present, now these are grammar mistakes, but I'm going to say them anyway. As I said, no one's perfect. Most of people think present is one important thing that makes birthday special. That should read, most people think presents are an important thing that make birthdays special. And some presents remain in memory for the rest of their life. To me, Parker's fountain pen is the most memorable gift that I have ever received because of a story related to it and the meaning of the gift. The first 3 sentences are just introduction. They're general comments about any gift anywhere. You can just cut that out. On the exam, it's a waste of 3 sentences. You're going to write a paragraph at the end of the exam. If you write a long introduction, you'll run out of time, okay? This is supposed to be, it could be just a single paragraph. So the last sentence of that introduction, if it was an essay, that would be fine. But basically what I'm trying to get you to do is be very concise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences just talking about presents, birthdays. I'm fortunate. It's fun to get presents. That can apply to anything. It's very general. And we don't need to know it. Everybody knows that. So the starting sentence could be, to me, Parker's fountain pen is the most memorable gift that I've ever received, right? Or as I recall. Or just don't use that as the subject, because that kind of sounds like you're connecting it to previous sentences. So you would say, the most memorable gift that I've ever received is Parker's fountain pen. So don't use it as a subject because you're kind of connecting it to the introduction. So just move Parker's fountain pen to the other side of the verb and say memorable gift as a subject. The most memorable gift I have ever received is my Parker's fountain pen because of a story related to it and a meaning of the gift. That's much more concise. That shaves down, that removes 5 sentences. That's just 1. That's what a topic sentence is. So this student made one. It needed to be adjusted, but it's there. That's what I want, okay? I'm fixing it for the student, but that's what I'm looking for. When I became 14, I was getting ready to enter middle school. I was so nervous about everything. New school life appeared like a great deal, and my birthday was in February, so it was a few weeks before entering the middle school. Under such circumstance, this is a story, okay? As long as the story is closely connected to the fact that it's a memorable, meaningful gift, it's fine. But probably there should be a topic sentence there too. This is a story. When I was 14, okay? What's the point though? If you had a topic sentence there would be a statement. Something like the memory of the Parker's fountain pen started when I was young. That's a topic sentence. Then you explain the story, but there's no topic sentence for that paragraph either. Okay, then the student goes on for an entire paragraph explaining all of the things related to, her family and what the what the value of this particular pen was to her. And then there's a conclusion. Today I have some other fountain pens. Their nibs are gold and have beautiful engravings on them. And they are expensive, but my favorite pen is the one I got from my grandmother, and it is also one of my precious things. I can't forget the impression I received that day. I have not forgotten the teaching, the lessons of the fountain pen, it should be, and it is still the driving force behind me. Now, once you've done that, you can go back to the beginning and say, okay, the meaning of the gift is that it was received, right? Is it taught lessons, and it was motivation because of the source. Like, you could go into more detail as well. You could say at the beginning, the most memorable gift that I've ever received is Parker's fountain pen, because it was given to me by somebody close to me, or given to me by my grandmother, or given to me by a family member, and it has given me motivation to study well. Something more specific, because just saying the meaning of the gift, that could be anything. It could be love, it could be motivation, right? It could be inspiration, it could be friendship, it could be loyalty. So the student could narrow it down a little bit more in the topic sentence and make it even better. Now, that, though, I consider an A+. It has everything I'm looking for. It could be improved. The introduction is too long. The topic sentence could be more specific. The syntax could be rearranged. The concluding sentence is also too long, but the topic and the concluding sentence match. The body is a clear explanation using a personal example of why the pen is meaningful and memorable to the writer. What it needs in the body paragraph is a statement at the beginning, something about being young and how the gift from the family made an impression. That statement needs to be there at the beginning of the second paragraph as well. Every paragraph needs a topic sentence, okay? So if you just jump into the story, then you're getting away from essay format. So either put your topic sentence as part of that paragraph. What the student could do is just take away the first paragraph, take away the last paragraph, and just stick the topic sentence at the beginning of the main paragraph and stick the concluding sentence at the bottom, and it would be one paragraph. There's no need for 3 paragraphs here. It could be just one. Anyway, that was one of the better papers. There's not very many grammar mistakes. There are grammar mistakes, but the sentence structure is clear. The connections are good. Verb tenses are not a big problem. There's just a few, subject-verb disagreements there, and some pronouns and some mistakes with articles, but that's okay. That's acceptable. So that's what I'm looking for, that level, okay? If you didn't hit that level, you probably got an A or a B or a C. As I said, the topic sentence is something we've already been working on for a while. Everything we've done so far that's, on page 14 about topic sentences, and when we looked at the paragraphs we analyzed, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to recognize in your own work, is there a topic sentence or not? So now you know. It's the first paper. It's worth 10%. The difference between an A and a B is 1%. So it's not a big deal if you got a B or an A on the paper, but you should take note of those particular things that I just explained from the one that I read. The topic sentence needs to be there. You need to put your information at the top of the page so I know who you are, right? Your support needs to be organized. There needs to be a statement to support, and there needs to be a conclusion. It can't just be a memory that you describe chronologically. When I was young, this would happen, and I got a present, and I had a good time, and I loved it. You have to do some analysis, right? There has to be some sort of argument. So there has to be some sort of idea that's connected to the gift. And you have to say what that idea is, and then in telling the story, demonstrate how that idea is manifesting itself in the receiving or giving of the gift. Don't get into general comments about some students did, some definition of what a gift is right at the beginning. That's fine, but don't do that for too long, because I'm not interested in, the philosophical nature of a gift. What I'm asking you is what your particular gift, what it meant to you, okay? So that, again, you had to make a statement about why the gift was impressive. If you didn't say because something at the beginning, you're missing part of the assignment. If you just told a story, sad story, happy story, surprising story, without making that, clear statement about what type of gift or what experience the gift was going to have, then you're missing an important part of what an essay is supposed to be, what a response paper and what academic writing is supposed to accomplish, right? So I want not just you to relate the details, but also for you to give me a perspective. Take a position, give your opinion, support it, and conclude. So when you do your assignment on the horrible hotel, make sure your topic sentence is a statement, okay, that has an argument about why the hotel is horrible, right? Don't just say, one day I went to a horrible hotel. That's just an action. That's not a position. You have to make a judgment, right? And then you have to give a reason. And then you start describing, right? And explaining. And then at the end, the conclusion is, that is why I want to warn you never to stay in that hotel. Okay? Okay, so it's an exercise. It's going to be worth 5%. Same thing. I'm going to give you letter grades just like the first one. And look at our schedule. I think 1 p.m. for Monday. And on Friday, what is the Friday schedule? Yeah, our Friday schedule is also at lunch. So on week 10, because I believe we are moving into week 9, watch this recorded lecture. And then for May 3rd at 1 p.m. for the Monday class, we'll have a Zoom lecture. And May 7th for the Friday class, we'll have a Zoom lecture. And yeah, we'll have a little workshop. We'll have a writing workshop. I'll show you some examples, and maybe we'll even do a little live writing and stuff. Trying to get everybody, if you have any questions, and I can give you some advice, and we can work out some of the difficulties in trying to, improve our writing before we have one more response paper that's going to be due in May. So we should have that Zoom meeting and have a chat about everything first. Okay? So anyway, the average was fine. There was lots of Bs. There were some outliers. There were some lower grades, but there were plenty of A's and B's. Just there was a few key things missing, in particular the topic sentences. And for those of you who got lower grades, some of you just need to make a better effort. It's just too short. When I say 1 page, I mean 1 page minimum. Okay? Minimum. The maximum was 2. So if you want to do the minimum, don't expect to get the maximum grade. That's kind of a rule. But if you're under the minimum, definitely you're not going to get an A. That's just, you didn't write enough. So write in proper paragraphs, and we will talk about formatting a little bit. I don't care about the Horrible Hotel, the formatting for that. Just make sure your name and your student number are on it. But we'll go over some of the particulars again when we have our Zoom meeting in a little more than a week, okay? So anyway, some of you have midterm still. As you know, no midterm in this class. Just do the Horrible Hotel assignment, and then I'll see you in Zoom for something different. Looking forward to it. All right? This video should be up over the weekend, but remember, like I said, it's for week 9, so the Cyber Campus attendance doesn't start until Tuesday. Okay? Have a good weekend. Take care.